Hi, and welcome to Sacred Hearts Catholic Church Visioning Project. My name is Ben Rentz, and the title for my design is Phasing into the Future. First, I'll talk about the programming chart required by our professors. It starts with an overall mission statement of the project, then leads into facts about the existing conditions, and then values. Next, it has building issues and site issues, and then goals, which are solutions to these issues, and then performance requirements, which validate the solutions. And then at the bottom are concepts to these solutions. I will start at the top of the chart with our mission statement: to create a church that fosters spiritual growth, inclusiveness, and celebrates diversity. Then that leads into facts about the existing conditions, which means truths that we found within the existing condition. And there's a variety of them, so I'll let you read them. And then next is my values for the project, which is being pragmatic, oneness, being comfortable, diversity, and the existing condition. On the next slide, I will do the issues, goals, and performance requirements. So the issues that I've identified within the building are circulation, comfort, flexibility, interaction, maintenance, visibility, and cohesion. The goals or the solutions that I hope my design does is for all spaces to be accessible in the building, for the building to be physically and psychologically comfortable for the users, to be flexible for current and future needs for the parish, create a more dynamic connection with the parish and the community, create a sustainable and reliable building, enhance the connection to the community, and then create a more cohesive image for the church. These are the conceptual solutions that I came up for all the issues. Now I'll move into the site analysis of the existing condition. The site is located in the Midtown neighborhood in Springfield, Missouri. It is located on Summit Avenue between Pacific Street to the north and Locust Street to the south. To the west is an alleyway that connects Pacific Street and Locust Street. The main entrance into the site is on Summit Avenue, with a secondary entrance off the alleyway, but is currently closed by the owners. There are sidewalks on three sides of the site, on Locust Street, Summit Avenue, and Pacific Street. There is only one pedestrian entrance into the site, which is on Summit Avenue. Now on to views into the site. The three major views into the site are on Locust Street, Summit Avenue, and Pacific Street. Due to the trees surrounding the site, this can block your view into the site. The only real clear view of viewing the building is at the entrance at Summit Avenue. Due to the trees surrounding the site, it can cause the community to overlook the building. Now the water runoff diagram. The site slopes downward diagonally from the corner of Pacific Street in the alley to the entrance of Locust Street and Summit Avenue. Water drainage mostly runs down the parking lot and out the main entrance to Summit Avenue. The water also drains down towards the parish hall into a drainage ditch, which either flows into the parking lot or into the alley. There are some surface runoff issues throughout the site. One of those spots is the parking lot by the Circle Drive in the main entrance. Next is the vegetation diagram. There are a total of 18 trees on or adjacent to the site. The site is mostly covered by trees, with one historical tree in the center just north of the parish hall. Lastly, our solar and wind analysis. Our sun gets as high as 78 degrees in this area and as low as 30 degrees in the winter. In the summer, we will want to block the southern side of the building with shading devices, and then allows sun to come into the building in the winter times to warm up the building. Most of our prevailing winds come from the south direction, with non-prevailing winds coming from the northeast and the northwest. Now I'll move into my design solution. It is broken into phases for financial reasons and for the practical needs of the church. Phase 1 is preparing for the future. Phase 1 is the first step towards the future. The purpose of Phase 1 is to resolve today's problems, which involve the educational spaces and the overall building form of the church additions. These changes are necessary because it will lay the foundation for the future expansion in the coming phases. Here's the Phase 1 floor plan, and this is where you can see the changes to the educational spaces. The changes for the educational spaces is to create a progressive learning environment that fosters collaboration, flexibility, and technology. I've accomplished this through the following design solutions. The building is expanded flush with the south wall of the church to create more space for the classrooms. Next is all walls separating the classrooms are removed and replaced with either partition walls or no walls at all so that can expand the size of the classroom if needed. All spaces are furnished with modern equipment and furniture so that one space is no different from another, creating more harmony. Lastly, I've created a space just outside of the classroom area in the south side called a flex room, which is designed for casual meetings, hanging out, or even just wanting to be secluded. The space will hopefully foster collaboration between the different age groups. The precedent that I use for the educational spaces is Sherwood Elementary in Springfield, Missouri, designed by SAP Design. Here's a floor plan that highlights the programs and functions within Phase 1. Here's the furniture layout for Phase 1. The last change is related to the overall building form. The most notable difference is on the south side, where I have created an abstract form of the church to create a cohesive form along that side of the building. Between the two forms is a glass atrium which brings light into the building, which before had no light coming in hardly, while also serving as a merger between the church and the new form. The materials I have used for the new form is slated stack rock, which would be locally sourced from the Ozarks, and for the roof would be seamless metal. The other building form change can be seen in the site plan. The existing multi-tiered roof would be removed to make one complete angled roof with a parapet like the one on the parish hall, so that they fit together and also solve maintenance issues inside. Here is an exterior perspective from the main entrance. Here you can see the building form changes and how they relate to the existing condition. Here's another exterior perspective showing the new building form and how it relates to the existing church. Here's an interior perspective looking into the educational space and at the flex room. This is an interior perspective of one of the classrooms. This perspective shows one of the current layouts that could be used in the classroom. After Phase 1 will come Phase 2. Phase 2 is titled Connecting the Parish Hall to the Church. Phase 2 is the most significant expansion. The expansion is needed for the overall growth of the church and other issues like lack of connection between the church and the parish hall, circulation, the parking lot configuration, the need of new office and meeting gathering spaces, and enhancing the parish hall. Throughout the next slides, I will talk about the proposed changes within Phase 2. First, I'll talk about the new parking lot configuration and the glass corridor. The parking lot is moved northward, creating a second entrance and exit coming off of Pacific Street. I expanded the building to the east, which took over the existing circle drop-off and entrance into the church. In result, a new functional drop-off lane with the ability for a car to drop off and a car to drive around it at the same time. Also with the drop-off lane, I've created a new church entrance that is connected to the actual church by a glass-covered corridor. Next is the Phase 2 floor plan, and I'll talk about the changes and spaces added. The first space I'll talk about is the parish hall. The parish hall expands to the east, west, and the north. To the east, a new office area, flex room, a new main entrance coming off the new parking lot are created. To the west, space for a corridor is added with a new emergency exit along the west side of the building where the utility room used to be, and also an expanded kitchen area too. Lastly, to the north, a new entrance into the parish hall is created near the new entrance. I've also put sliding glass doors to give access to the outside from the parish hall for events like Festival of Nations. Next space is the courtyard. A new outdoor courtyard is created where the old entrance and drop-off lane used to be. The outdoor courtyard is surrounded with glass sliding doors. This provides solutions like fluid transition between services, allowing people to socialize in the courtyard instead of inside the church, more space for the nation of festivals, and allowing natural light to come into the building. The glass doors can also be opened to expand the courtyard area, which allows people to flow into the surrounding hallways and into the parish hall. Next is the office area. The old office area is turned into classrooms similar to the other ones, only they are smaller and made for smaller groups like Bible study groups and choir groups. The new office space fosters the principle of an open office floor plan, allowing it to be customized to your preferred setup. There are 3 smaller offices for the pastor, deacon, and office manager. The new office location also has access to natural light, where before they did not. Lastly, a new flex room is added with the capabilities of turning into 2 separate flex rooms for meetings or any other gathering needs. Here's the Phase 2 programming floor plan. Here's the Phase 2 furniture layout. This is the Phase 2 circulation to use diagram. This diagram shows the different connections, hallways, and gathering spaces throughout the Phase 2. This is the east elevation, where you can see the form of the east expansion and how it relates to the church. All expansions are smaller in height to give hierarchy to the church. Also, you can see the change of removing the existing windows on the parish hall and replacing them with ribbon windows along the north, east, and south sides to allow more natural light to enter the space. This is a cross section that cuts through the educational space, the glass corridor, the courtyard, and then the other glass corridor that connects to the church. This helps shows the spatial qualities within the building and also how natural light floods into the building. This is a longitudinal section cut that cuts through the classroom spaces and into the parish hall. This section shows how direct and ambient light enters in the space, while also showing the spatial qualities of the different spaces. This is the natural ventilation diagram. This is a section cut through the educational space. It shows the cool air coming in through the classroom windows, allowing the classrooms to stay cool in the summer and allowing the heat to rise out through a clerestory window. This is a thermal comfort diagram. This shows how the louvers protect the glass corridors in the summer from heat gain, and then in the wintertime allows the sun to fill those spaces, allowing it to heat up naturally. This is a views diagram demonstrating the new views due to the new expansions for the spaces. This is an exterior perspective showing the overall form of the building. This is a bird's eye perspective of the new courtyard. This is another exterior perspective of the courtyard. This picture shows the ability of the glass doors to open, allowing people to flow in and out of the spaces. This is an interior perspective of the flex room down by the educational spaces. This is an interior perspective from the corridor looking out into the courtyard. This is an interior perspective looking at the corridor that connects the courtyard and the educational space. This is an interior perspective of the parish hall. This is an interior perspective looking into the smaller flex spaces. This is an interior perspective of the new office area. Within the office area, there are louvers in front of the windows, only allowing light during the later part of the day. This is an interior perspective as if you were entering the new main entrance. And finally, Phase 3, which is titled Expanding the Church Services. In Phase 3, a new congregational hall would be created, which can be used for multiple events. I believe this is necessary because it gives Sacred Heart the opportunity to expand its services and allow more people to become a part of the diverse community the church is. With the new hall, you will have the ability to have two masses going on at the same time, or allow one large mass for big events like Christmas or Easter. This way, both old and new halls could be combined to make one big congregation. This would be possible with having two altars, one which would be removable. As you can see in the program diagram, the classrooms made in Phase 1 have been moved to the old office area or the new flex rooms created in Phase 2. And the furniture plan it shows the layout for the new hall. This is an interior perspective looking into the new congregation hall from the old church. This is an interior perspective of the new congregation hall, taken in the morning to show how light enters in the space. This is another interior perspective of the new congregation hall, only taken later in the day. This is an interior perspective of the new hall with a mass currently going on. This is an interior perspective showing the relationship between the old and the new and the glass atrium. This is an interior perspective looking towards the parish hall. Overall, with this design move, I believe the church would be a great example to spark a conversation that is needed within the community on how to expand and build next to historical buildings. Thank you for listening.